You fall in love. Then comes the difficult task of planning the perfect wedding. Lifting the veil, an inside look at wedding planning. And here's your host, Wedding Entertainment Director, Larry Williams.
Hello, and welcome once again to another edition of Lifting the Veil. Coming to you again from the Valhalla Estate here in beautiful South Lake Tahoe, a beautiful, rustic, centuries-old facility that's an absolutely gorgeous place to have a wedding. Check it out online, or better yet, check it out in person sometime. Today's episode is all about helping you, the bride and groom, choose music for your upcoming wedding. Now, in a prior episode, we talked about ceremony music, so I'm not going to talk so much about that today, but I'm going to talk about reception music, because there's many different things for grand entrance and first dance and father-daughter dance and this sort of thing. Special songs for special moments. It's all coming up today on Lifting the Veil.
If you're planning an upcoming wedding, consider this. The Reno Tahoe DJ Company is a nationally recognized provider of first-class wedding entertainment. Professional, experienced, appropriate. Expect the finest in quality from the first consultation to the final dance.
The Reno Tahoe DJ Company, referred by more wedding professionals and preferred by more brides. Visit renodj.com.
Turn your wedding dreams into reality and find the area's best vendors in one convenient location. Visit the Northern Nevada Bridal Association at thennba.com.
Welcome back. Today's episode is all about choosing special songs for special moments. And here's the thing, you're going to miss a good portion of your cocktail hour. You're going to be out getting pictures. But as the cocktail hour progresses and takes place generally an hour, maybe a little bit more, what you want there is music that's going to be very bright, festive, and upbeat. It's a very celebratory time, which again culminates with the grand entrance towards the later part of the hour. But keep the music fun and upbeat. Choose music from several decades and artists, and you don't have to pick every single song. If you've got a great DJ, if you've got a great band, they're going to know what to play. Tell them not to play danceable music, but keep it bright, festive, and upbeat. Give them the styles of music you like. Give them the decades of music you like. That's very helpful as well. But again, that cocktail hour should be bright, festive, and upbeat. Now, at the end of cocktail hour, you're going to have a grand entrance. Now, here's a kind of a misnomer that a lot of people kind of get wrong for the grand entrance. Oftentimes, we'll get somebody who says, well, listen, I want Crazy in Love by Beyonce while we're introducing all the bridal party. You know, it's a great song, a lot of high energy, and that's what you want when you're doing a grand entrance. But here's the problem. Whenever you got any vocal selection playing while an announcer or an MC is trying to announce the names, you've got the singer competing with the announcer. It sounds very convoluted to the audience member. So if you've got a great DJ, let them know that you want music that is instrumental and upbeat, high energy, because they're going to have a whole bunch of that stuff. And then when the two of you come in, yeah, Crazy in Love can be playing with the cue point or the chorus or wherever you want it to start. That's fine. But whenever an announcer, an MC, is making announcements, introducing the bridal party and parents and all that good stuff, you do not want that announcer to be competing with a song with vocals in it. It sounds terrible to the audience, and the only way to get around it is to drop that music so low and that vocal so low that you can't even hear the music hardly. So kind of keep that in mind. It makes for a much better grand entrance when an instrumental upbeat track is used for those introductions. Now, the next thing that probably will happen will be, there'll be the toasting, there'll be the cake cutting. You might want to choose a song for the cake cutting. If not, just leave it to your DJ or band to choose something appropriate. I often go with something like How Sweet It Is or Signed, Sealed, and Delivered. Such great songs that are out there that are perfect to utilize for the cake cutting. Next up will be the first dance. And here's something that the bride and groom always have to choose. You're not going to get a whole lot of help from your DJ or your band or any musical people on that one, because it's got to be a personal song, something that is really important to the two of you. But here's what often happens. Oftentimes, the bride and groom will have two songs, and they're trying to decide between the two, which one of these two should we have for our first dance. Here's a great tip. Use one song, the strongest one you feel, use that for your first dance, and use that second song as a farewell dance at the conclusion of the night. And that's a great way to utilize both songs that are very important to you. Next up, you're going to have the father-daughter dance, or possibly the mother-son dance. Several different ways to go on that. There are many songs that speak of the father-daughter experience. There's many songs, not near as many, but there's a few that speak of the mother-son experience. Sometimes people like to combine the two in a combined father-daughter, mother-son dance. Or they just don't want a song that speaks of a father-daughter relationship, but is more generic, in which case those are called tribute songs. You can use tribute songs for just about anything, because a tribute song, like a good example is like Wind Beneath My Wings, or What a Wonderful World, or Unforgettable. These are all great tribute songs that pay tribute to the other person. They don't speak of a father-daughter relationship. They don't speak of siblings or even lovers in that sense. They're just well-wishing for the other person. So kind of keep that in mind. Tribute songs are very popular to use for father-daughter or mother-son, or combined father-daughter, mother-son dances. Next up is what I call a congratulatory dance. Some people call it a money dance, but see, over the years, people don't like to use money dances because they think, those kind of dances are really, iffy, because you're going to get an announcer that's going to beg people for money. Well, that is classless, and I don't particularly like it when people do that. So I call it a congratulatory dance, where no mention of money has to be spoke about at all by the DJ or the announcer. It's simply an opportunity for guests to dance with the guest of honor. Again, you could have the groom dancing with different girls that walk up and form a line, and likewise, the guys will dance with the bride. But it's just an opportunity to cut in every 20 or 30 seconds and share special well wishes with the guest of honor. No mention of money needs to be made. Again, the congratulatory dance, which was the money dance, used to be the dollar dance, which replaced the money tree. It goes way back. There's a long history, but not so many people use it so much anymore. Now for the dancing, the upbeat dancing, you want it to start off really, really strong and stay strong and upbeat throughout the whole time. But here's another tip. If you've got a lot of young people, throw them some big upbeat new songs right off the bat. But let's say you don't want to alienate the older people, okay? That first hour of dancing is very important. The older people will not stick around most of the time till the end of the night. So it's a great idea to include 2, 3, 4, 5 brand new songs that the young people will love, so they'll know, hey, they've got that music. It's going to crank. It's going to be great. Then revert back to maybe the 80s or oldies or disco or country or something like that, so everybody gets a taste of that music in the first hour that they like. That way, as the celebration goes throughout the course of the night, you get into the later stages of the hour or the party. That's when the party really starts stepping up into new music. It gets wild and crazy and all kinds of fun. And again, don't forget that farewell dance at the end of the night. It's always better to end the party on an up note with a farewell dance that has everybody there. So even if you got the banquet hall till midnight, if people are starting to leave around 10:30 or 11, get that farewell dance in, because a farewell dance is so much more fun and more memorable when you have 30, 40, 50 people there as opposed to 6 people in the cleanup crew. All right, so those are just some tips and suggestions on picking specialized music for your wedding reception. But keep in mind one thing very important. If you're putting your trust into a professional DJ or a professional band, have these discussions with them and utilize their expertise. That's what they're paid to do. They're going to know great songs, and they're going to know how to put it all together for you. Rely on them, lean on them, trust them. Thanks so much for joining me on this episode of Lifting the Veil. I'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on social media.